Hello there. On this episode of the Average Tabletop Gamers, I'm going to be looking at some resin scenery from Hammerforge Studios. Hello there, it's Sven here from the Average Tabletop Gamers, and today I'm going to be looking at some amazing new scenery on the market from a company based in Ireland, I believe, called Hammerforge Studios. So Hammerforge Studios, to give you some background, are quite new to the market. I think they only launched in December of 2019, and obviously with the pandemic of 2020, it's been a little bit hard for them to get their products out there. So you may not have seen them, although I did stumble across them through some Facebook advertising where they had an offer on, and I did see the products, and I have to say I was blown away just by the pictures they had on the website, and then I got my grubby little hands on some of the products, so I want to start having a look at them today. So the first one I'm going to look at are some of the larger scale pieces of scenery that they do. So I've got some here, so I'll start by looking at this piece here, which is this fantastic ISO container. So as I said in the intro, it is a resin, so it looks like a poured resin. I don't know exactly what kind of resin it is. If any of you people are really interested in resin, I'm sure we could probably find out from Hammerforge Studios for you. So it's obviously sci-fi. This is a sci-fi inspired piece of kit, and it's kind of like representative of your factory or cargo ISO container. So lots of companies do their own versions of these. You know, Games Workshop have done them recently for all the Kill Team terrain pieces. And I say this is scaled probably for your 25 to 32 mil kind of range in terms of the size. What I love about this is the lid is come off, and also there's interior detail in the lid. So if you're like me and you like painting things for effect, there are some lighting beads in there, so you can do some OSL paint work on there. And there's interior detail. So I'm going to put this under the close-up camera now so we can have a look at this one in close-up. So what we should be able to see here is, you should be able to see all this fantastic exterior detail that's on here. So some great, I mean, there's loads of battle damage and weathering, and also just day-to-day damage you get from, you know, this being an ISO container that's probably been hauled around the galaxy. And then, as I said, the lid comes off, and what's nice about the lid is it is actually keyed so that once it's on there, it's fairly secure and it won't slide off. And as I say, we've got that interior detail and some phenomenal interior detail. So we've got the diamond plate on the flooring, and of course on the hydraulic rams for the door, and we've got the sides. So there's going to be a lot of detail you can get on there. While I've got this here, I'll show you the scaling. So as I said, it's going to be good at around a 25 to 32 mil or 28 mil to 32 mil. So you can see they're kind of primarily inspired by a bit of a 40k feel. So here I've got a Primaris Marine, unpainted unfortunately, but it was the first one I had to hand for doing this, and you can see here that it scales really nicely to the size of that. And then also in the 40k universe, if we take a Dreadnought, you know, it's going to look nice stood next to that. And of course, I'll pull out, you can quite clearly see I rated my Grey Knights collection for this. I've got a Rhino here, and it'll stand nicely next to a Rhino. So it's got some good height to it. It's going to be great for blocking line of sight, or great as an objective piece. Similarly, if we look at 28 mil, if I just quickly grab a couple of minis from a 28 mil collection, so something like Judge Dredd would work really well with this, and you can see there the kind of scaling of the Dredd mini beside the container. It's going to be great for giving some line of sight blocking, or some depth and flavour to your terrain. And we've got there, I've got one of the Crooked Dice 7TV Apocalypse miniatures, and you'll see there that they're going to blend in perfectly for anything that's sci-fi or post-apocalyptic. So that's the first piece that I had, this ISO container. I'll go into build quality once I've had a look at all three of the pieces that I'm going to show you today in this video. But as I say, that was one of the first ones I saw that caught my eye, by the way, on the website. So that was the one that made me really like dig deeper into Hammerforge Studio, just the detail on that piece of kit there, on that piece of terrain. So we'll stay in the realm of 40k, or sci-fi post-apocalyptic warfare. And we've got this lovely bunker here. So it's like a poured concrete and steel girder bunker. Tons of detail on this in terms of the texturing on it is brilliant. The sandbag details, so we've got two types of sandbag. One looks like it's got scrim netting across the top of it, and we've got some plain sandbags. Loads of blast damage and bullet damage that we'd want in our battlefield. And then we've got some exterior detail in terms of, we've got some doorway on the back, say some great blast damage and things. And again, on the interior we've got a big light source, and we've got some interior detail in terms of tiling and wall coverings, so a wall rendering. So again, I'll quickly whip this to the close-up so we can have a bit more look in depth of this. So here we go. So this is the, as I said, the bunker. I mean, just check that out. The bullet damage that we've got, it's already chock full of flavour and detail to give that bit of extra expression to the battlefield. And really like the way that this is designed, so that the roof, all the joins are around where these girders are, so actually it's a natural point where there could be a gap. So again, it looks great when the lid's on, but it gives you that versatility and playability to take the lid off. And I said, yeah, we've got that interior detail, and we've got some lovely doors. So for this one, I think it's scaled more towards a 32mm in terms of just the sizing. So if I pop the Battle Brother in there, you'll see there that actually it stands up to his chest really. But if we look at a 32mm figure, so let's take our Crooked Dice hazmat chap again, you'll see that it might look nice if someone's got a rifle that's shouldered rather than, you know, people firing from the hip. However, it does scale nicely to that. So again, let me just pop the lid on. In fact, I'll leave the lid off and I'll show you so you can kind of see the minis. So on the website, this does say that you should be able to get about 25mm bases inside this, depending on obviously the pose of the minis, I would imagine. So if you were playing Imperial Guard, for example, this would be perfect for them. But yeah, I say in terms of scaling, it's actually beautiful in terms of the way that it looks on the tabletop next to the minis. And again, we'll just get Dread out to show you Dread beside it. You know, so this could be a perfect outpost on the walls of Mega City 1, looking out over the Cursed Earth. So you could have Dread patrolling that, and again, it would fit perfectly in with the kind of look and feel of that sci-fi universe. The detail again is outstanding. The rivets, the slashes, so you've got all sorts of different battle damage in there, which just gives it a lot of real nice texture for the game to show it how it should be on the battlefield. So yeah, as I say, I mean, lovely piece of kit, this one. I love this bunker. And again, it will not take much painting and that to do this justice. However, pop over to Hammerforge Studios. I'll put the link below, by the way, for this. Pop over there and see the brilliant paint job they've got on this to just give you some inspiration as to how this can look. Obviously, after this video, we'll be getting these painted up, and these will be appearing on our tables as we bring you more games on the Average Tabletop Gamers in the future. So as I say, that is big piece number 2, as I'm describing it, is the bunker. And as I say, fantastic detail in that one. So the last of the bigger pieces that we've got to review is this kind of ruined portal or gateway. So it's like a ruined piece of temple, and it's got a wibbly wobbly spiral of something going on in the middle there, and again that details on both sides. So this would be great as it's going to fit nicely into a sci-fi game. It's going to fit into a fantasy setting. So, you know, this could be some kind of webway portal or some kind of alien portal between, like, to another dimension in a fantasy or sci-fi game. It could be a summoning gate in a fantasy game. If you're playing something along the lines of 7TV Pulp, this would be lovely to go alongside the 7TV Pulp setting. you know, where you might have some kind of horror from the deep coming through there, or some of the other 7TV game settings like Children of the Fields would be great with that. You know, have a random portal into another dimension to come in there, haunt the villagers or something. Again, chock full of detail. So let's get this on the close up, and I'll show you some of that now. So the detail on this one, as I say, is great. The steps, we've got moss, we've got cracks, all the things you'd expect with stonework. We've also got some fantastic vine detail. He says knocking the camera. So you can see there's vines crawling all of this, and we've got damaged pieces. And on the back we've got some scrolls and some parchment kind of detail, you know, like that's all built in to make it look like an old temple. And I think that is absolutely fantastic in terms of detail. And again, this is going to be one that is going to be a standout objective piece on the battlefield, and this is definitely going to be getting used in one of my 7TV games straight away, I'll tell you that now. As I said, it's good quality resin. It doesn't weigh a lot, which was surprising given the size of it, but really fantastic resin. So for scaling on this one, as you'd imagine, it's going to be the same as the other one too. So as you can see there, it's going to scale up nicely for something like a Space Marine, or if we get one of the 28mm figures, it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to have a quite imposing size against a 28mm figure. And I say that is going to be glorious on the table in terms of, you know, having some avid explorers finding that, trying to work a way through it, or to try and stop whatever's trying to come through that. You know, it's going to be a fantastic piece to have on the table. So yeah, so that Weirway portal. So you could have that as a single objective piece on the table, or, you know, what would be nice is you could buy a pair of these and you can have them either end of the table or in certain bits of the table, and allow, you know, like transport through them as a kind of an interdimensional tunnel or something like that. So there's a lot of use in the games for those, depending on which games you're playing. You know, you're going to get some use out of that, either just as a static piece of terrain or as an actual objective piece or an active piece of terrain. So before I get into cost, just the general quality of these, the detail, the sculpting, I am absolutely blown away by the detail and the sculpting on this. Considering this is kind of Hammerforge Studios' first line of products that we've seen, it is some of the best resin in terms of detail that I've actually come across. And this is going to go slightly nerdy, but many years ago I used to work in a laboratory making resin, and the quality of this resin is so smooth. There's very few air bubbles in it, there's no chips. I've not found any bits of like mold line. I've not found any bubbles, and given even Forge World kind of level resin these days, is it's almost an expectation that you would have some bubbles or some cracks or some mold lines in there. These, I don't know whether these are being, you know, touched up before they get sent out, or if they're just basically molded and sent out to the customer straight away. But I think the only prep I would do to these, I would probably give them a little bit of a wash just to make sure there's no release agent on them, and I would be putting them straight into priming. I don't foresee me doing any clean up or tidy up on these, and for products like this, I think that is amazing. So let's talk about pricing. So as I said, the Imperial Bunker, or the Bunker I should say, that piece there is going to set you back about €27.50. So I've not done the exchange rate conversion for that. I'll put that on the screen so you can see it in pounds, depending on, of course, when you're watching this. You know, but he's advertising this on the website with €27.50, and of course there will be a bit of shipping on top of that, depending on where you're based. But €27.50 for a resin piece like that. That is something that, you know, if you were buying that from Forge World or something, you'd probably pay double that for a piece of resin that size. So I think that's fantastic value. So for the portal, the fantasy style portal. For that, it is, let me just check this to get it right, €20. So €20 bang on for that. And again, as I say, it's a good heavy duty piece of resin. Lovely detail. I think that is a lovely price for something which you could weave into any number of games. So €20 for the portal. And finally, the ISO container, or the cargo container. For that there, you're looking at €19.50. So at the time of filming, there was a 15% offer on. So go and check out Hammerforge Studios as soon as possible from seeing this video to see if that offer's still there. But even without that offer, any of these pieces, you know, I think are well worth the price tag that's on them. For the detail that's on them, for the playability and the versatility, it's a big thumbs up from me in terms of these first few products from Hammerforge Studios that we are reviewing. So I don't think there's much more I can say about those other than go and check out Hammerforge Studios. So I'm going to put the links below to Hammerforge, to these 3 products, so you can go and check them out for yourself. I'm going to get these thrown into the painting workshop very soon. So if you go and check out our Instagram account, there'll be pictures of these hitting Instagram very soon. And when we can get together as a group at the Average Tabletop Gamers, we will be playing some games, and these will be gracing the streets of Mega City. They will be gracing the apocalyptic wastelands of the 7 TV program guides, and they will be gracing any table that I can get these onto now, because I love these products. So yeah, double thumbs up from me here. So as I said, go and check this out. Well, check out Hammerforge Studios first, but also check us out on all of our different media channels. So we've got our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook. Go and check out the Average Tabletop Gamers support group on Facebook, where you can go and chat and hang out and discuss products, ask advice, give advice to other gamers who are feeling, despite you know, who are in that same kind of group that we're all talking about, the Average Tabletop Gamer. So go and check those out. Obviously, if you're not subscribed already to us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like, a share, a subscribe, and hit that notify bell to be kept up to date with any of the videos that we're putting out. And again, normal service will resume soon once we can get back to a more regular filming schedule. But thank you for taking time to watch this. Thank you for Hammerforge Studios for producing these and sending us these to have a look at. And so for now, from the Average Tabletop Gamers, we'll see you on the next one.